We did it. We achieved 75,000 people in the city, and we unlocked new buildings and a new tile, and the most important thing, new monuments. So we finally unlocked the monuments in the game, and we will work on that. So to start things off, I'm just taking a look here at the buildings that we have, because we do need to put down 2 more buildings before we do the space elevator. And the first one is the Expo Center, which is the one I'm doing right now. And the other one is a stadium. So as you can see, I'm adding it here next to the university, next to all our stadiums, because what I think is this area is already very accessible, and there is a lot of tourists walking here. And I do believe, like with all the stadiums that we have, that this area would probably be very propense to receive an expo center as well. I think like these areas, they usually have a lot of things around, like we see here, like baseball stadium, hockey stadium, and the expo center over there. And then we had to put down the stadium, and I thought, well, I don't really want to put it anywhere else in the city, and I think this is the best place to do that. So there we go, and that's what I did. Then I noticed that we need a little bit more water, and I went ahead and added a couple of water towers there. And this time I integrated that with the city, and I think that looked a little bit better than just throwing them on a corner or on a service area like we did before. But this is what matters now, and here is our space elevator. Yes, we are finally doing it. And as you can see, this area we have like all those parking spots, but they are really empty, which is good because it means that everyone, as you can see on the left side, are using the public transport, and they are doing a great job there. So I can't complain about that. And one complaint that every single one that I use a space elevator has, that I've seen, so maybe there are other people out there without this problem, but they all complain about the traffic that the space elevator generates. So the idea for me to put this next to these major public transport systems that we have here is that everyone would be able to use public transport, or if they want to take a plane, they can go there. If they want a train, they can go there. If they want buses, we have it. We have taxis, and it's accessible to the whole city from here. Even if they decide to use car, I think, in my opinion, this is a very good area for cars as well, because they have access straight to the highway over there. And here we are with the building placed down there. I still left the parking lot behind it, and it looks okay. Yeah, not gonna lie, like I was more excited about this than the looks, because I think this looks a little bit weird, and I don't completely like the way it looks, but the functionality, that's exactly what I wanted, and I think the area is still the best place that we can have it. Although again, like the London Eye, this is a very tall building just next to the airport, but I think like the airports are on the outside, and this will be on the inside of the parking lot, so not a big issue. And I like the helicopters just going around, that makes everything come alive. But I've been noticing one thing here, which is there are no people using it. And do you know why? Leave me a comment if you know why, but we'll figure that out in a minute. But I want to see if you guys spotted what's wrong there. As you can see, like the trains here are working perfectly fine as well. We had probably a crash with two helicopters at the background there, but let's jump back and fix that issue. So if you notice, I used this zonable pathway in there, so that's just for pedestrians, and the space elevator actually needs car access, so it won't work if you just have pedestrian access, which is interesting, a little bit weird, but interesting. And I don't know why, but that's how it is. And I've managed to put down the road now there, and as you can see, that is a lot of people using that. That is a lot of people. They don't stop coming and going. Like, that is heaps of people in there, and I think that's really, really good. That's exactly what I wanted that, and that tested my theory that this area could handle the space elevator very well and not cause any issues. Now I'm adding a new heliport in there because we had just one stop for those two lines, and as I separate them on the other side of the city, I've done the same thing here, so the residential would connect to this new line here, and I think that would work much better. There's a lot of people waiting there as well, so that's why I want to fix that. Now moving away a little bit, we've leveled up on the mining industry, and I'm putting down a couple more buildings here, including the fiberglass plants to make more glass, and getting the necessary jobs for the next level. So this area, I think it's looking pretty good. One more thing left to do, and that is doing the suburb for this area, because I haven't done that before. I went on the whole city and I just double checked everything and made sure that we had all the suburbs correct, and I think they are. And the way I name it is just the airport hub. If you have a better name, let me know in the comments and we will change that. But let's jump in the live game now. And here we are. So there are a few things that I want to show you around here. So first off, let's leave this mode, and as you can see, there is a lot of people using this area, and they're walking all the way there. We have some people just standing there, crossing the road over here, and using these new pathways. I just don't know why. Well, I believe they don't go to the airport when they arrive, because this is how they arrive in the city. So they all go to the train station over there, and or they're also going that way, which is the heliport connections. Interesting. So this is packed. That's a lot of people. We might have to find another way for them to leave, because they can't use that. Like, there is no way I can fit any more helicopters in there. If we take a look at the line details, look at that. I might be able to fit one more in there, but that's all. And that's what I'm gonna do. Like, they're all full on the way to this stop, and yeah, nothing much I can do there. It's all. I can add new lines, but this won't be enough. For the train station, as the train just arrived, let's take a look. So we have 304 people in the station. The train carries 640, so half full. That's pretty good, and we have no issues there. Again, let's take another look. 309, and we are fine. That's fine. Now in this area we also have the buses in here. There we go. We have the coach buses. We have one person waiting here, so this line is not really busy, at least not here in the airport. I think the main reason is because where this is going. So I would say it's okay, it works, not a big deal. The parking lots, they have been used a little bit more since I've removed that one and added space elevator. But the same thing, I don't think we have any traffic issues here or anything happening that might be harmful for our traffic in the city. So this is very important. The number of people that's using the space elevator. We have 333 last week. This went up to 487 when I first built it. And this goes up and down as well. So that's pretty good. And by the way, the functionality of the space elevator, we can take a look here. People near and far travel to the city to see the space elevator. This means a huge influx of tourists who also like to spend money while visiting. So this means that we get more money in the city. Talking about money, let's take a look at our economy, which we haven't done for quite a while. So this is how much money we are getting and how much money we're spending. So we're getting roughly 12,000 per week. And this obviously goes up and down depending on the situation of our industry. But our industry is making a lot of money. And yeah, let's take a look at those items individually. So residential, we have mostly five-star, level 5 residential, and this is making us $35,000 for low density and 150,000 for high density. So 185 roughly just for the level 5, like I'm not even considering the other ones. Or on total 209,000. There we go. 45% of our income comes from this. For the commercial area, then we also don't have any level 1 or 2 low density. We have probably a couple in high density here, but we are making 105,000, which is half of our residential. Obviously, the areas are not so numerous as residential, but here are some interesting facts and which changed after we added the space elevator. We are getting 23,000 from leisure and 80,000 from tourism. So it went up significantly. I think last time I looked at that, we had something around 18 and 5, and this is really good. This is where the space elevator helps us. Now, industrial and offices, we probably have one lost industrial zone area in the city because we are making money $3 from that building. I don't know where that is, but from offices we have a lot more money, and the IT cluster brings us double the money. The IT cluster, if you remember, is just there next to the commercial area. Now, industry, here we go. This is interesting. 40,000 just coming from industry. So we get 15% of our income from the specialized industry, and we spend 5% of our expense with industry as well. The one that makes us the most money is the warehouse, followed by the oil, then ore, fishing, forestry, and farming. So yeah, pretty good results there. And yeah, profit, they are all profitable. Fishing going down now, but they usually are very profitable. Next one, education. We made 49,000 and spent 46,000 with our campus, so trade school. So we had a $3,000 profit with that. I don't have any liberal arts college or university, just the normal university. So we're not making more money with that. But this is a 5-star school, so it should be all right. Now this one is interesting because, as you can see, income is almost zero for everything except for aviation, taxi, and trains. And trains are very low. So we spend 35,000 and earn 500, 400, yeah, $500. Why we have that? It's because public transportation is free for the whole city. So this money actually comes from interstate connections, and the same goes for our aviation, which goes for interstates or other cities. And taxi is not public transport per se. They're just a means of transportation, but not a mass public transport. So people still have to pay for that. So there we go. Yeah, these are pretty interesting facts. We spent 86,000 just on that. So can you imagine getting 86,000 more per week? That's a lot of money. And we are making money. Like a couple of episodes ago, I had 3 million and now I have 4. So we're pretty good with money. Income from money spent by tourists. And again, this shows how much money we are making now with the space elevator. So commercial zones, 4,000. Public transportation, so tourists spend 9,000 with public transportation. Park areas, they spend 3,500. So great, this is bringing us a lot of money as well. And toll roads, I didn't put any, although I keep thinking about adding some, especially in the entrance of the city on all the sides, but I haven't get near that yet. We'll get there eventually. So next thing I want to show you is actually this is pretty busy. I think there was a plane bringing cargo that just arrived. So this area, it's a 4-star area now, and we are on our way to almost there actually. We might even make it in this episode. 790 people working. We need 800 there. We can go up to 969. So let's see if we can finish this episode with this as a 5-star industry. Some backing up there, but there's a lot of trucks going into the train station, which is completely fine. I think this is normal. So, ore industry, that's another one that I did change. And what I've done here, I've added this large ore mine underground, plus this fiberglass plant. So we produce more glass, which I believe we are using for our lemonade factory. Great. And yeah, I think it's all going pretty well there. I just don't know if we should increase the production rate in there. I don't know. Let's leave it like that. 4-star here, we are on our way to 800 workers as well. So 5-star is on the way. Probably we need more people in the city. By the way, we have 80,000 people now. So 75,000 when we start the episode, 80,000 right now. So this has been a very successful episode in terms of population. And no one using this huge parking that we have here. Great. Waste of space just there. Next thing that we need to take a look at are the water towers that I've put down, if I remember where they are. One was around here, somewhere here. There you go. I told you that they integrate very well with the area, and I thought that this water tower here, the Crail's Shine Water Tower, or I'm sorry about that, something like that. So it's a water tower from Revo, and he has some pretty nice assets in the workshop. So you should check him out as well. And I think this fits really well in this area on the farming suburb, and I like that, especially when you look like from far away. It just integrates with the area. And the other water tower, I've put that down just over here. I just have to be careful here with ground pollution. Let me just double check that. I remember checking that a lot. Yeah, we are fine. Okay. But I think it's always good to double check that. So it's just a normal water tower, but I thought it would be interesting to have that at the end of this road and on the corner of these pathways, so embraced by those pathways. This area is pretty good, so they are using all the parking lots in here, which is pretty nice. And last thing, actually second last thing, is the zoo. So we are now 5-star, but I'm not putting down any more buildings here. I think we have more than enough, and this area is small, so I don't think it would make sense to add any more buildings. But if you want to know what we've unlocked in there, we have what is that? Zoo? I think it was the lions, rhino, and lions. Yeah, that's what we had. But again, as I mentioned, I don't think we have to change this because this looks great as it is, and I'm not changing that anymore. So we have how many people? 12,800 visitors. That's fantastic. Last one, public transport. So let's open up this tab, and as you can see, we have a lot of people using. Let's start with the trains and look at the line that we have in the airport. Just because we have the space elevator in there, and we have 700 people using that line. So as you can see, we have a lot of people, especially here in this stop, which is the commercial one, by the way, probably bringing all the people to the space elevator. But the trains here, they all have 640 capacity, and we have 3 trains, and they are taking care of all the passengers in this line. So I'm pretty happy with the way it is. I don't think we need to change any of that, and it's all going well. Now we have all the trains in here. I think the one that we'll take a look is just the Cross River. So this one that goes through the river here and stop over there on the commercial area. It's also pretty good. It's working pretty well. I think there's a lot of people now using the subway. There is this other line of subway in here, and we could even remove one of the trains in here. And to be honest, let's do it. We don't need 3, just 2 would be enough. Okay, that's it for the trains. So subway, talking about subway, we have this line that I just mentioned, that's crossing, is blinking on the right side of the screen. This links the farm area to our commercial area, and we have 1, 2, 3, 7, 1,200 people using that. That's a lot, and we have a lot of trains there as well. So again, we have a good number of people waiting in each stop here, and that is not really a big deal. I think the maximum capacity here that I've seen is this train over here, 300, and everything else is working fine, so it's working well. After that, we have these few lines here with 600 people that connects to the Cross River Railway. I don't think we have to change that as well. We have this one. I've took a look at these lines before, and they all seem to be good. This one I could even remove a train from here, but I'll leave a 6. That's alright. And this one, we have a lot of people in there as well, which is nice. 5 trains, more than enough. We could even remove one here, the same thing, but I'll leave it. Not a big deal. Then we go to the train lines. This one is the busiest one, which links to the farm suburb. So this goes up to the old residential area, to the farm suburb, and just go around it in a big loop. And we have a lot of people using that. I think one of the reasons is that we have this line here, and they come here, they use that metro station. So, and a lot of them come to working here. So there is a lot of reasons to use this line. That's what we want. And then the university loop. Yeah, this goes up and down depending on game days and whatnot. But I think like it's not so busy now. I have 4 vehicles in there, although they're not completely full because of game days. We really need that during game days. But at the moment, it's all right. Finally, buses, because this is the second biggest public transport that we had. It was the first when I looked yesterday, so we now got metro as the main public transport. But these lines, they are all good. Let's take a look at the Zoo line. A lot of people waiting there, a lot of buses as well. We have 10 buses for 9 stops, which seems a lot, but we're still missing this stop here. So that's interesting. Do we need to add another bus to this line? That's a very good question. Because that's this bus here, right? Yeah, this is still full. Okay, let's add at least one more in there and see how that goes. And we got this sawmill on level 5, so the forestry industry. And we have a pulp mill. Nice. So now we have 22% efficiency and less 40% pollution. That's fantastic. I really like that. And well, I've added the bus in here. Let's see how that goes. But hopefully that's enough, because there are too many buses in here already and I don't want to add more. I should name all these lines, because bus 12, line 12 doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of buses in here, but we need them. They're all busy, especially again, this line here. There's a lot of people there. They all fit into the bus, but that's why we need a lot of buses in here. Yeah. And with that, we will just look at our final line there. But I'll leave you guys here, because this is just looking at bus lines, and as I sped up the time there, and the game decided to just crash at the end now. So I think that's a good place to say my goodbye and ask you to leave some comments. Don't forget to like the video, because I really appreciate that. And also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel so you can see my other videos and all other games that I play. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.